Welcome back to Renegade GCM. Today we have gameplay video between Blue Doflamingo and Black Lucci. Let's get into it. Alright, so opponent chooses to go first. We keep our opening hand. Opponent just gets a Dawn, passes to us. So we're going to play out Sengoku here. Going to grab the Jinbei. Let's pass it back over to them. So 5 into 5 here, the leader. Attack, giving our Sengoku -1. We're just going to 1k counter out with a Jozu. We're going to play out Brook, KOing our Sengoku. So at 4 Dawn here, we're going to attack with leader, 5 into 5 first. Opponent's going to give us a 2k. So we're going to deploy Jinbei and Edward Weevil, drawing into a Jozu, and passing it back to them. So Doflamingo has a hard time into the Lucci and Smoker matchup with the fact that most of our characters are 4 and under, so it doesn't take a lot to remove our stuff from the field. So we have to constantly keep applying more characters to the field in order to have some survive through the rotation in order for us to attack into them. So they're going to play Ice Age, giving our Edward Weevil -4. Playing a Rebecca to get one of their Brooks back. Playing the Brook off the Rebecca to trash the Weevil. So they're going to go 5 into 5 here. Using leader effect to give our Jinbei -1. We're just going to 1k counter out. And they pass it back to us. So here we're at 6 Dawn here. We're 1 Dawn short so far yet to use our Raging Tiger. But we're going to use leader effect here. We're going to go 7 into the rested Brook. We were looking at the crocodile effect, but it wouldn't do us any good, so we're going to put 3 on Jinbei and go 8 into 5. And they give us the Rebecca. Let me just pass it back to them. Opponent looks like they're at 7 Dawn here. They're going to play a Tempest Kick, which just drew them a card. So they're going to go 6 into 5 here, giving our Jinbei -1. We're going to 2k counter out of that. Because trying to maintain our characters on the field is very important in the black matchup, so we can't just give them the characters without trying to counter for it first. So here they're going to play their Monkey D. Luffy from OP07, Zombie Luffy. But we're 8 Dawn now, so we're going to use Raging Tiger to get rid of both their characters to the bottom of their deck. So we're going to go 5 with Jinbei first. And then we're going to go with 5 with Crocodile. And their opponent's just taking these live. And we're going to go 6. They took that. So they just took 3 hits right there, so that's good for us. We still have a 2k in hand. We have the Boa Blocker, a Gecko, and a Law. So they're going to go 6 with their Lucci into our Jinbei. We're going to 2k counter out of that. They did give our Jinbei -1. So now they're going to deploy their Gecko, which they're going to bring back a Rebecca. And then Rebecca gets to bring back something as well. We got a Brook. They brought the Brook in, but it can't do anything. Alright, so opponent just passes it back to us. We're at 10 Dawn here. They have 2 life, 1 blocker. So we're going to deploy our Law, bouncing the blocker and our Law back to hand. So we're going to put 3 on Jinbei, go 8 into 5 here. We got to force some cards out of the opponent's hand, but they take the life. We're going to go 5 with Crocodile into the Brook. They give that up. And then we're going to go 7 with leader using the effect. We're just going to go ahead and deploy that teach. And they're going to counter out here. So we just pass it back to them. We're still at 5 life. They're at 1. They do have a Gecko and a Lucci on the field. But into the black matchup, it doesn't take much for them to completely wipe your field. So those laws are really good just to be able to play out, bounce their blocker back to hand, and then bounce your law back. So they use Tempest Kick again, this time giving our Jinbei -3. And then they're going to play Suru, giving the Crocodile -2, which means a Lucci's probably coming. And there's Lucci. So it looks like they're going to try to clear our field here. They're sending a bunch of cards back to the bottom of their deck, and they got rid of our Jinbei and our Crocodile. They still have 4 Open Dawn. They have the Gecko swing and the Rob Lucci swing still. So very unlikely they'll teach. Yep, they're going to go 7 into 3 into our teach. And they still got the 9k swing into life, which is going to give us a card. And then they play an Uda. Okay. So here we got this character can't be KO'd battling against a leader. Then you can rest it to get -2. Okay. So here we're debating if we just want to like build up the Dofi right here and just go in. That's what we choose to do. We're just going to go 14 to 5. Giving the cards in hand for counter protection. So I take that hit, and we did deploy a Boa. But anything we play is pretty much going to be destroyed, so there's the blocker, again. And Sabo making his characters immune to effects. And they're going to trade out a Suru for Spandam. Got a Who's Who, it looks like. Which is a 2k counter for them. So 9 into 6 here. We rather protect our life because they have 1 blocker. So 9 into 5, we're going to take the hit. So here we're going to... We're debating if we want to do Jinbei into Law. It's going to cost the same amount for us. So Jinbei, we're going to grab... We're going to grab the Boa right here. Putting these cards at the bottom of the deck, and then just giving Arrested Dawn to leader. Because we still want to establish a board just in case we can't go for game here. So we're going to play Gecko, getting a 2k back to hand. And then we're going to attack 7, using leader effect. Jozu stays on top. So they gave us the blocker, but it looks like they're going to try to counter out to save the blocker. Yep, so they saved their blocker here, but we did establish 3 bodies on board. Because they still had quite a bit of cards in hand, and we knew a 2k was in the hand at least. So they still have the Who's Who, which is a 2k, because they didn't use that on the counter. So I'm going to play Spandam. They didn't find any cards here. So the reason we didn't use the Lull that last turn to just try to pop their blocker back to hand is because 1, it doesn't work because it's a 4 and under. And 2, we wanted to establish more bodies on the field because their cards in hand are getting kind of narrow. So with only 4 cards, they're running out of options to remove multiple bodies. So we wanted to establish a board here. So they're going to play Jack. which are just going to rest Jack to draw a card and trash a card because they didn't KO anything. And then they just scoop it up. So they had two 2Ks in hand and a Gecko. So they weren't able to find what they needed. So Doflamingo was able to continuously apply bodies to the board. We were starting to establish some 2Ks in hand. We could have got rid of any, like Rebecca blockers if they did come down with the law. But yeah, Doflamingo, good showing here against Lucci. The black matchup is pretty rough. You just got to keep applying bodies to the board. Sometimes it's alright to hold off a turn and just put all the dawn on your leader and just go for one big hit. But yeah, other than that, guys, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Help the channel grow. See you guys in the next one.